Hey, Flosstube. Just going to kind of wing it today. I meant to do this morning. It's been a busy, crazy day. Chores, and I've been at the office today, and until it's just kind of a bummy day. It's raining here in Georgia, so it rained all last night, like big torrential downpours. Let's see. First off, we'll update you on some whips, things that I've been working on. Last time I was going to do a page of my Heaven and Earth Designs Alphonse Mucha. And let's see, I put my finger where I was. You can see I started the page. I got the big blocks of color done. I did not finish it. I could have finished it. It has been very stressful at work lately, and I find that once I get down to the confetti and a stitch of this color and a stitch of that color, and just my head hasn't been in the right place in the evenings to do that. And this is the part of the Heaven and Earth Designs that I don't really love. So I've been procrastinating on finishing that page. Hopefully I'll wrap it up between now and when I do another video. We'll see. But, you know, I love doing these, but just my head hasn't been in the right place. So I then switched over to something that I didn't have to think about as much. Something that was just easy and fun and enjoyable. So I worked some more on Prairie Moons, the red and the black 2, and got some more done on it. I forget where I was the last time you guys saw this. I'm pretty sure I did not have the center medallion completely completed, and I definitely was not overworking on this section right here yet. Isn't that the coolest needle minder ever? Love it. Love it, love it. So I got a little bit of work done on that. And my heart still wasn't completely in it. And I was feeling kind of, I don't know, like my stitchy bug was going away, for lack of a better way to say it. So I thought, what will help? What will make me really enjoy stitching again? I really want to get back at stitching in the evenings and loving what I'm doing. And then I realized that most of my time was being taken up by looking at other people's Mirabilias and thinking about Mirabilias that I wanted to do, and the start that I was going to make in January. And I said, you know what? I need to start a Mirabilia. I decided that I was going to leave August Peridot Fairy for the Stitch Along in January because I had already designated her for that. But I started Circle of Friends. And those of you that follow me on Instagram already know this. You know that I've gotten started already. I haven't actually gone out to Michael's or anywhere and completely kitted it up with DMC. I've been pulling from DMC that I already had in stash. I'm taking it off the key snap. That I already had in stash. Trying to use that up. Although I did just get the Krennic that I needed for it from 123 Stitch. Do you know I placed an order on, I think it was the 28th, or okay, it shipped on the 28th or the 29th, right after I placed it, and I got it yesterday. 3 days. I'm impressed, 123 Stitch. I think that's the fastest I've ever gotten anything from them. With that said, there was one Krennic for this that was out of stock that they're going to ship later. I'm okay with that. Okay, let's see. Let me move my needle minder. Not super prepared today, guys. Sorry. It's just been one of those days. So I started in the center for once. That's rare for me, but it just seemed to make sense on this one. So I've started on the dress in the center. Got most of it done. I ran out of the one color. You can see that there's some of it done, but it's not completely filled in. So I have to buy some more of that. Let me get up, get closer to the screen here. Quit being lazy. Stand up. Okay, So you can see I filled in some Krennic at the top. It's really my first time, honestly, really working with this. I've put a little bit of Krennic in my Heaven and Earth designs before, but I've never really stitched with it. And there's some Krennic in that little, I guess maybe it's a medallion on a belt, I'm not sure. And then I've started with the one color that I have for this dress. I've started filling that in on that side. And then that is a needle minder that I made myself. I love it. It's just a little metal compass. And the metal is really, really good at holding my needle. So that's that. Worked on that. I'm loving that piece. It's exactly what I needed. I needed this start. And I love this fabric. I love this fabric. It was hard to adjust to because it's so much darker than what I've been stitching on. But once I got going, it was cool. It was fine. But this is a 32 count swamp by Picture This Plus. Love it. And I worked on that up until last night. I also finished block 1 of Hawthorn Hollow last night. And I started block 2 this morning since it's November 1st. And yeah, it's not on my key snap yet. I'm lazy, guys. I should have prepared better. Let me snap this out of here. This is my newer 11 by 11, so still works really well. It's just to show you how big the fabric is for this piece. And yes, there will be room. It's still permanently rolled a little at the bottom. I've measured it. I promise there's room. So here is block 1 completed. Yet again, let me stop being lazy and get up closer where you guys can see, and I can see what I'm doing. The changes that I made on this include changing these birds to black. Let's see, I also changed the watercolor to where it's a little bit different. The color that it originally called for was just too close. Too close. I also did not do French knots on the snake size, and I put in beads. I don't know if you can see that or not. Oh, sorry, guys. So that's that completed. One more time. And then you can see where I've got a very small start this morning on block 2. Carried the border down along the edge until I ran out of thread. Started working on the bird that's perched on top of the tree. I changed him to black. He was supposed to be like this, the same color as this writing is what it called for. I didn't like that. I thought it was kind of weird for a bird. So he went black. And I started working on the trunk of that willow tree. And I'll work on that some more this evening. And if anyone has not seen what I'm converting this to, here is it again. Well, let's take it out as plastic. When you do the trees and the picket fence as is, and the little hills, and instead of the church, I'm going to do this gloriously wonderful turn-of-the-century home. And instead of St. Peter's Church, mine and Jim's last name and the year we got married at the bottom. And I'm totally going to figure all the colors out as I go, but that's half the fun. I'm kind of excited. So work on that some more tonight. And next, I want to talk to you guys about a start that I'm planning for December, where I was completely enabled by Tracy P. I'm calling all of you out. Tracy P. Molly Peckham, Mackenzie Eskdale, and lots of other people who were jumping on board with the cross stitch and discuss stitch along that's going to be in December. I know like Molly and Tracy have already started theirs. I don't think they're officially doing it as that stitch along, but I'm going to try to hold out and not start this until December 22nd, I think. I may not be able to wait that long. She's gorgeous. The Angel of Love from Lavender and Lace. And it's like the Mirabilia. She doesn't look like much here, but look her up online. She's amazing. This skirt, like 90% beads. In fact, this, all beads for this project. So there's like 4,100 beads in her skirt, I think was the calculation that was come up with. And then there's all these different crinics that go on her skirt. She's amazing. She's going to be beautiful. My problem with me kitting stuff up online continues to be that when I get the fabric in my hands, it's never exactly what I thought it was going to be. I ordered, it has to be 28 count for this piece. It has to be. I think Tracy and Molly both tried doing it on 32, and there's just so many beads that in order for there to be enough space for them and them not be like unaligned and squished or not even have room, it has to be 28. So I had decided I wanted to be different and do a different color. So I picture this plus relic, which looked like a brownish gold or goldish brown. It feels straight up gold. It's just like yellow. So I have this, which there's so much work in this piece. So much work, so much beading. I want to love the fabric. So I will either use this for something else one day, or maybe one day I'll do a giveaway and all these things that I bought that weren't exactly what I thought they would be. Maybe they'll go to a home that will love them more than me. Or maybe I'll just resell them on eBay. We'll see. So I got that. It came in yesterday with all the beads and everything from 123 Stitch. And I stared at it. I wasn't happy with it. I drugged my husband in, and he was like, yeah, it'll be nice on that, but it is really gold. And I texted a picture to Ed. I put one on Instagram, and I didn't love it. So I pulled out like every piece of linen that I owned and spread it out on my kitchen counter. I put a picture of that on Instagram too, trying to get opinions. And I've decided which color I have that I want to do it on, which I really like. Unfortunately, this is 32 count, so I'm going to have to order a piece of it in 28, which this is linen, and the other one will be linen, so it should be pretty close. And this is Belfast. If anybody knows if Cashel 28 count dyes up differently than Belfast 32 count, if there's some huge dramatic difference, please let me know. But I want ale. It doesn't look like much here, but with the crinic on it and the beads on it and the floss on it, it's exactly what I want. The metallics just pop on this color. And it feels rich and warm. So I'm going to order a piece of the Pictureless Plus Ale in 28 count, unless somebody tells me it's going to be dramatically different. So let me know. I'm not going to order it immediately. I just placed that order from there. It'll be in November. That'll help keep me from starting it until the official start date. The longer it is before I have my fabric, the less likely I am to put the first stitches in. So there's that. Let's see what I'm talking about. Oh, I had made some more needle minders because there were some pieces that I had seen on Etsy, that little wooden pieces that I really liked, but that were never going up in any of the minder shops because I guess they're just more my taste and not someone else's. So I ordered a set of absinthe tiles because, let's see if you can see how big my gallery wall is here of all of the artwork. You can see right above my head, there's a very large Alphonse Mucha absinthe ad that I've got up there. I'll just show you the whole wall while we're doing this. Lots of stuff. Oh, you can see that I have my framed tarot cards in that window pane frame. So yeah, that's my gallery wall. I completed that last year. It's one of my favorite things in my home. Get this centered again. So they had this pack of absinthe tiles, one of which was the exact one that I have on my wall. Love it. So that's a new needle minder, and I'll probably make a couple of the other absinthe tiles into minders as well. And I gifted a couple, like the Crafty Curator is the lovely person who sent me that Ouija board minder because she had bought it and realized that I collected them and was like, it needs to go to the home it's meant to be in. So she's so sweet. She mailed it to me. So I sent her a few as a thank you because I told her I believe that, you know, you put kindness out in the world, it should come back to you. So I sent her a few back. And then Ed, Tattooed Stitcher, has been super, super generous with me and just so nice. And it's become, honestly, a dear friend. So I sent him some, too, some of the mail artwork absinthe ones. And I also sent them both a couple of tarot card pieces that I also bought because, obviously, I like tarot cards. Friend of mine calling, sorry. Call her back in a minute. And yes, that's David Bowie from Labyrinth. It's like my favorite movie. So it's a ringtone for my best friend. I made this one for myself. The Empress. I think it's so pretty. And then I probably could have gifted this one to a million people, but this is so me. Just the image on this tarot card and the fact that it's the Hermit. Because I always say that, well, what are you doing tonight, Emily? Well, I'm going to go home and hermit. And my husband's favorite band is Led Zeppelin. And this totally reminds me of that Inside Fold Out on that one album. I can't remember which one. So I love that one too. Love it. I sent both Ed and Letitia a couple of those tarot card minders too. And made an owl. And scary cat. Anyway, I had fun. Because there was several like that that I knew I would probably not see someone else make anytime soon so that I could purchase them, and I had fun doing it. I had fun gifting some of them, and probably will gift some more in the future. So, because when you buy these sets of tiles, you end up with, I mean, I don't need 10 minders of the same thing. So, something else I was going to say. It's going to be a short video today. I really just want, it's so rainy and yucky outside, I really just want to curl up and work on Hawthorn Hollow. I've gotten my work done for the day at the office and ready for court tomorrow. And it's going to be a long week. And it was a long week last week. So maybe I'll turn on some Flosstube and stitch some more. I was watching Flosstube this morning, watched the lovely Ray's new video. I really enjoy how she's doing her videos now, where it's kind of like a daily diary of what I stitched this day and what I was doing and what I watched. So I know she's looking for feedback on that. I really dig it. I like it. Sorry guys, I'm not as organized today. I'm not as together. Maybe it'll be better in 2 weeks. Maybe I'll be in a better place mentally. Speaking of which, I know I've told you guys what I do for a living. I advocate for children in foster care, and it's just been a rough week, and it didn't help yesterday. I was driving home from my parents' house. They live about an hour north of me. I'd gone up to visit with them, and obviously I like NPR. I've really gotten into listening to Snap Judgment, which is one of their newer shows. When I get a chance to hear it, I need to start listening to that online. Maybe I can do that when I stitch, because I think they put those online for a limited amount of time after they air. But I listened to some of those yesterday. I was already in a bad spot mentally, like with all the stuff that was going on with work. And then one of the stories, it had a disclaimer on it where it probably wasn't okay for people who were easily offended, or if you had children in the car, maybe you wanted to change the radio station. So I thought, okay, it's probably just going to have language in it, whatever. This will be good. And it was probably one of the best storytellers I have heard in a really long time. But I was bawling in my car driving down this country road to get back here like some crazy person. It turned out it was about horrid child abuse, and it was graphic, and I it's not it's it was what I needed, but it wasn't what I needed, because at the end of it there was a moral to it where basically if you see something wrong, you should do something, because you never know what could happen if you didn't. Anyway, I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. But if you are not easily offended, and if you don't have children in the room with you, it is disturbing. But like I said, it is one of the best stories that I have heard told, particularly about child abuse and activism in a while. So snapjudgment.org, and I believe it was David DeWolf was the man who that particular one was told by. I may be butchering his last name. It was good. It was heavy, and it was disturbing, and it was emotional, but it was so good. So if that's something you're interested in, or just that type of thing in general, check out snapjudgment.org. I'm actually going to go in after I finish this and maybe watch a couple of those, or listen to a couple of those. That's it, guys. I know I've probably said that a couple of times, and I'm not organized, but see you in a couple of weeks. I should have progress on Hawthorn Hollow. Maybe have finished that block in 2 weeks. We'll see. And maybe some more progress on Circle of Friends. And we'll see what else. Maybe I won't have started Angel of Love by then. I'm really going to try to wait till December. And I know a couple of people have been like, what? You would give that away? But when I finish that, I may give it to my mom. She's pretty religious, and my crafting and sewing came from her. She has always been into stuff like that. She sews and crafts and cooks, and she's just started quilting, and she would appreciate every single stitch, every single bead, every hour, and she would love it. So once I eventually finish that, that may be a gift to my mom. And I can definitely say that on here, because I know she doesn't even know I do these, so she'll hopefully won't see that and spoil it before I give it to her. So if anybody has any questions about anything, or any comments, or can tell me about dying of Cashel versus Belfast, or maybe was as traumatized as I was listening to Snap Judgment yesterday, comment down below. And I'll see you guys on here on Instagram. Bye.